All right, I'd like to call to order this regularly scheduled meeting of the Cordova Recreation and Park District this Wednesday, October 18th at 6:30 p.m.
Thank you. To lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening, I'd like to welcome to the podium Shelley Blanchard.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Just move on to item 2 of this section.
Thank you. This is our standing action item to deal with any AB 2449 requests, and seeing none, we'll list it as no action taken.
Excellent. We'll move on to roll call.
Director Mattis,
Here.
Director Langen,
Here.
Secretary Sloan,
Here.
Vice Chair Danzel,
Here.
and Chair Yearwood.
Here. All right, we'll move on to B, comments by the public on non-agenda items.
Thank you. This evening, I would like to welcome on our Zoom meeting 6 members from the public. Members of the public may address the board on district topics not listed on this agenda. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. It's a violation of state law for the board to discuss or take action on non-agenda items. Board members may only briefly ask clarifying questions or refer the matter to staff. I see no requests online, and for the record, we did receive 1 email today regarding the proposed cell tower at Stone Creek, which has been forwarded to the board.
All right, thank you. All right, looks like we will move on to item C, the consent calendar.
Thank you. Consent calendar items are considered administratively routine and will be acted upon in one motion unless separate action on a specific item is necessary. The chairperson will consider any requests for discussion on the items prior to approval of the consent calendar. And Chair Yearwood, I would like to pull item C1 and item C2 for separate votes, please.
All right, excellent. All right, there's no comment for this from the Zoom folks?
No public comment requests.
And no one from the audience? Okay. Any questions or concerns from the board on items C3 through C6? If not, would anybody care to make a motion?
Sure, Yearwood. I motion we approve consent items C3, 4, 5, and 6 as in the board packet.
All right, I have a motion by Vice Chair Danzel. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Secretary Sloan. Roll call vote.
Director Mattis,
Aye.
Director Langen,
Aye.
Secretary Sloan,
Aye.
Vice Chair Danzel,
Aye.
and Chair Yearwood.
Aye.
Thank you. Item C1 was pulled for a separate vote due to the absences of Directors Yearwood and Mattis. We request abstentions on those votes, please.
Sure. Anyone care to make a motion for item C1?
Make a motion, we accept item C1.
All right, motion by Vice Chair Danzel. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Director Langen. Roll call vote.
Director Mattis,
Abstain.
Director Langen,
Yes.
Secretary Sloan,
Yes.
Vice Chair Danzel,
Yes.
Chair Yearwood.
Abstain.
Thank you. Item C2 was pulled due to the absence of Vice Chair Danzel. Request abstention vote on that.
All right, anybody care to make the motion for item C2?
I'd like to make that motion.
All right, motion by Secretary Sloan. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Director Mattis. Roll call vote.
Director Mattis,
Aye.
Director Langen,
Aye.
Secretary Sloan,
Aye.
Vice Chair Danzel,
Abstain.
Chair Yearwood.
Aye.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right, we will move on to D, presentations, D1.
Thank you. Item D1 is presentation of resolution 23/24-17 to the Rancho Cordova Area Chamber of Commerce. And we'd like to welcome Diane Rogers.
Here it is. So this evening, I'd like to present the Rancho Cordova Chamber of Commerce with the resolution number 2324-17. The resolution of the Board of Directors of the Cordova Recreation and Park District celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Rancho Cordova Area Chamber of Commerce. Whereas the Rancho Cordova Area Chamber of Commerce incorporated on May 14th, 1963 as an association of businesses that provides resources, advocacy, and networking to build relationships and facilitate connections in the community. And whereas the mission of the Chamber is to strive for significant impact through the development of opportunity, clear vision, and committed action on behalf of its members. The Chamber is a group of visionary leaders dedicated to the prosperity of our region. Its activities, events, and programs provide relevant information about current business trends and practices. And whereas the Cordova Recreation and Park District appreciates the partnership and collaboration with the Chamber over these past 60 years. 20 residents from notable families like Alstrom and Hagen were instrumental in launching the Chamber and were the first directors. Our entities share common origins and long-term leadership with the likes of Paul Hagen, Neil Orchard, and Kurt Haven. And whereas today the Chamber serves a 63 square mile area and supports over 400 members and 11,000 employees in over 270 business categories. The Chamber holds business connections and special events, manages member support programs, and provides legislative advocacy. It promotes economic growth, creates jobs, and improves the business climate. And whereas the business community's voice, the Chamber understands the business needs the community, and the community needs business. The Chamber's members live, work, and raise families in Rancho Cordova, Gold River, Rosemont, Mather, Rancho Marietta, and beyond. And whereas CRPD and the Chamber have enjoyed a long relationship of cooperation, including co-sponsoring the annual International Fest, iFest, since its inception in 2008, participating in the Chamber's signature business expo and job fair event, and being featured in the Explore Rancho Cordova program to welcome and engage new residents. And whereas the Chamber has thrived under the leadership of Diane Rogers, who has led the organization for over 10 years and was selected Woman of the Year in 2022 by the Assemblyman Ken Cooley. Diane also serves in facilitating the Leadership Rancho Cordova program, which CRPD has been honored in support through consistently hosting the module and producing graduates of the program. And whereas most recently, throughout the pandemic, the Chamber was an essential resource for many small businesses to navigate complex grant applications and COVID prevention mandates. The Chamber is poised for a bright future and is committed to continuing to grow as a valued resource to the business community in Rancho Cordova and surrounding areas. Now there it be resolved that the Board of Directors for the Cordova Recreation and Park District wishes to honor the Rancho Cordova Area Chamber of Commerce and celebrate its 60 years of service to the community and partnership with CRPD. Passed and adopted on this day, the 18th day of October, 2023. So congratulations, Diane.
Yes.
I don't know if you'd like to say a few words, and then we'll do a photo opportunity.
I'm gonna sure to say well, thank you for the recognition of the work that the Rancho Cordova Chamber has done over the past 60 years. And we will continue to do so for the next 60 years and beyond, hopefully. This has been quite an endeavor this year as the chairperson for the 60th anniversary. We are doing additional events, the culmination of which will be the gala that we have tomorrow night. We are looking forward to that. Tomorrow? Yes, Diane is tomorrow. So yes, we're very excited to share that time with the community, and we appreciate all of the support for the Cordova Recreation Park Department and for this recognition.
Thanks. And I'll just add we couldn't do what we do without the partnerships that we have throughout the community. And many of you I consider good and dear friends and are appreciative of the support we've received, but it's those partnerships and collaborations that make our work success. So thank you for that. And thank you for the recognition. Appreciate it.
Did that.
Oh.
Perfect. Time, guys. Perfect. You guys are gonna be in the sun.
We'll have my fault here. Where am I gonna be? Right here. Right here's the good. Super. Super. All right. We post it like you like.
Yeah. Y'all voted yay.
And who's photo on the backpack?
Ready, 1, 2, 3. And ready, 1, 2. Perfect, thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
That's gonna bring up pumpkin. I'm feeling right. Season. Nice job, Larry.
You're sweating a little bit. All right, are we ready to move on to presentation D2?
Thank you. Item D2 is a presentation by the Cordova Community Council on the 2023 4th of July celebration. This is an informative presentation only, no action to be taken by the Board of Directors. And once again, I'd like to welcome Shelley Blanchard.
Thank you very much. I'm really happy to be here. It feels like the 4th of July was 5 minutes ago, even though we're haunting and scaring people's pants off out at the mine shaft with the Heartstoppers Haunted House and are warming up for the Christmas tree lighting. So time is whizzing by. Just an overarching comment. We had some special challenges and opportunities with the 4th of July this year. The special opportunity was that it was also the city's 20th anniversary, and we enjoyed some great support from them to bring some extra fun things to the event. So we certainly appreciate that. But we also had some special challenges. The most notable one is when a transformer blew up on the 1st of July, and your staff, thank you, Jill, and Brian Danzel and Lee Frichette's in the back worked really a miracle to make all of that come together for us. And, the show must go on, right? So what a great example of community partnership that was to address that unexpected snafu in our planning. Actually, it wasn't a snafu. It just, I'm told by people who know a lot more about electricity than I do that sometimes that just happens. And it did. It took a terrible time to choose to do it, but there you go. So I presented to you a very detailed report. You probably just couldn't wait to receive it and have been no doubt reading it every spare moment of your life. But as I always do, going through all the different aspects of our event, this is a really complex event. It's one of the largest now in Sacramento County, and we're certainly proud of it. I will not bore you by reading through it because I know you can read yourself, but instead I thought I would highlight what I like to call 4th of July by the numbers, which really sums up some of the extraordinary achievements of our 4th of July. And I hope you have that. I'm pretty sure I did. It looks like this in your packet. So we did set a whole bunch of records, and if it's highlighted in red, that was a record set by the Rancho Cordova 4th of July this year, including attendance, which we figure was at about 27,500 people. Hard to believe we're squeezing that many people down there in Hagan Park. And that doesn't include like 10,000 people along the parade route and some other things that are affiliated with the Rancho Cordova 4th of July. We parked more cars than ever. We had more in our parade. We had 10 marching units from high schools across the region. I'm telling you, nobody had that at their parade like the 4th of July in Rancho Cordova did. We set a parade entry record at 81 entries in our parade. A new record in Transformers blown, a new record in Transformers replaced on 4th of July weekend, one. I always like to highlight the fact that in order to celebrate the independence of life in America, it takes a grand total of 9 government permits, all of which are painful to achieve, but we did. We set off the largest size of aerial fireworks we've ever done. We had 8-inch shells, which probably explained to you why the sky seemed so full of fireworks this year. That was actually made possible by Mother Nature when in January, those storms took down a few trees that had prevented that sort of activity before. Let's see, we had a new record on aerial drones. We had 100 of them flying around, and you might have noticed those. That was pretty exciting. We put up more than a mile of fencing. We sold more beer. Way to go, Rancho Cordova, than ever. We had a record number of golf carts to get us around, a record number of trash carts, and on and on and on. One other number I want to just share with you is our website visits between July 1 and July 5th. 90,000 people visited our page views, which got the attention of some of the online companies which have contacted us and would like us to consider, carrying advertising. And then we had the unusual heat wave that struck during our setup, and we actually had to send our volunteers home day after day when we'd normally be setting up for the 4th of July because it was just excruciatingly hot. So having said all that, feel pretty good that we were able to achieve the wonderful event that we did. I wanted to focus in a little bit on your participation because it was absolutely critical. We literally could not have pulled off the 4th of July beyond without the Cordova Recreation and Park District, even beyond just the crazy transformer issues. We have really terrific support. Want to thank Jill and Andrea for holding my hand and letting me cry in the shoulders over the very painful insurance requirements of this event. We're striving to meet the letter and certainly the spirit of that law, but it's tough. And I will say that I don't have to tell you all about how that works, but it does concern me that the future of a smaller group would not have been able to pull off an event like that just because of the insurance requirements. I would say that our relationship with CRPD over the last decade of doing the 4th of July has been really a heartwarming partnership. And really cannot thank you enough for all the support of the staff in the office and in the field. And Brian, thank you especially for your help out there. It's really an incredible blessing to have a board member participate in the way you do at the 4th of July. We had great support also from Republic Services in doing a great job in moving a mountain of trash around. All our vendors, I think, did a pretty good job for us, including and especially our fireworks vendor, keeping our unbroken record of really having the best fireworks anywhere in Northern California at the Rancho Cordova 4th of July. Let's see, I would going over the dollars and cents of the event. It does look like we made money. I can assure you we did not. And this, the Cordova Community Council is in the midst of a changeover in accounting providers. And I will be supplying you when we close the books in September with an update. There's about $50,000 that have been miscoded in preparing this report to make your deadline during this transition period. So it will be better than usual, thanks to the extra support received from the city of Rancho Cordova, but we don't consider this losing money. We consider this an investment in our community, and we plan for it and are proud to invest in our community in this way. So how many people were there? Did you all see? Okay, very good. Thought I saw most of you there. And we're already thinking about next year. It's kind of our thing.
Sure, policy now.
Well, you know, it is a challenge, Mark. It's going to continue to be a challenge for everybody, figuring out how to get through these huge insurance requirements for sure. And I do think it does speak to the wisdom of having an organization like the Cordova Community Council, if I can brag for a moment. I mean, in the old days, it would have been the Kiwanis Club or Rotary Club that would throw the 4th of July. And without having a really big structure organization, there's just no way you could tackle these big events anymore, especially meeting those kinds of safety requirements, which we all support, right? We want everybody to be safe and have a great time, but it is a heavy load to carry for sure. So I'm going to stop talking and instead answer any questions you might have. We had a great time and I hope you did too.
All right, well, we'll do what we always do. We'll start down at the end of the dais there. Director Madison, any questions, comments?
Well, I just noticed, so next year you guys are aiming for cashless.
Yes,
Is
we're
that
moving it.
for-
We're moving in that direction.
Is that for
Absolutely.
like inside or is that at the gate?
All of it.
All of it?
Now our vendors, food vendors will probably continue to accept cash, but we are moving toward cashless. I don't know if you're aware of this, the Rancho Cordova, or I always call it the Rancho Cordova Air Show. The California Capital Air Show went totally cashless this year. And we were anxious to see how that, would roll out. There were a few hiccups from, especially from a teenager, like dropped off with $40 from their parents and then they couldn't buy food. But yeah, that's where we're heading.
And like another suggestion, I know getting in there, it's not easy.
Right.
With traffic. I don't know if there's a way to put up signage, QR codes where people could pay for parking
Right.
as they're coming in. And that way they have a receipt and they can just show it.
Absolutely. We're certainly looking at that.
Doing that. Okay.
It's a great suggestion and it's something we're definitely looking at.
Okay. And the only thing that I had was the rides, because it was $1 a ticket. And it's, I think an average about the cheapest ride was 5 tickets.
5, yeah.
Yeah. And with 5 kids, that was tough.
That's a budget buster, no doubt.
Yeah. So that was the only thing, but it was just, other than that, it was a great event, especially with the whole park being open. That was good. So that was really nice.
Well, thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Director Lee?
No, just thank you. Appreciate it. All the hard work that goes into that. Huge of an event. Me and my family, we loved it. We had a great time. The kids were running around. And so, yeah, just thank you.
Okay. Well, you're welcome. Thanks for coming.
Secretary Sloan?
It's unbelievable how you seem to always do something better than you did last year.
Well, that's the goal,
I
right?
know, but then you've created this monster that you now have to do better next year. And it's something I was thinking about. All those people in the parade, 5-6 different schools, and their parents and their relatives are all there too. And that added a lot when we have that, when we used to have competitions of the bands. But it really was, I love the entertainment. The bands were really good, I thought, this year. It was crowded and there was challenges, but it seems like, I mean, I didn't hear any problems. Maybe you know something that I don't know, but I didn't hear of any people getting hurt or complaining or something, or, only thing I did hear is some of the people who came to the gate, they couldn't get the online because they stopped at a certain time or something, or.
We did have an auto shutdown when we hit a certain number. We were working this, by the way, I should explain, because you brought this up, Mark, and you all would probably be interested in hearing this. One of the reasons we are moving towards this cashless is that the police department wants to know how many people are coming in and be able to shut it down if it gets too big. And so that only way to do that is to be having people buy their tickets in advance and have a ongoing ticket count as as they're coming in. Personally, I hate the idea of what that might look like at the corner of Chase and Coloma. If suddenly the police said, "Sorry, we're full." That could be quite hairy.
What is capacity?
Well, the police department wanted us to stay at about between 10 and 15,000 a day. I think we probably may have exceeded that a little bit on the 4th of July. Which is why we try to offer the same program both days, so you can pick a day.
Yeah, I walked through with my camera, and it was more of a challenge for me too, because it was shoulder to shoulder and in the carnival area. Walking from the stage back to the our area was a challenge.
Yeah.
But all in all, I tell you, it's always a class act. I mean, the drone show was very interesting. The first day and the second day, I guess there was a glitch in the first part. And I guess that there was a little glitch in the wind problem with the balloon thing. I wanted to really get a picture of that, but I thought it was an excellent job. Everyone was happy. It seems like the one thing that I'm finding out is that there's a lot less things to do for Mark's kids and stuff, where we used to have the parrots exhibit or the circus.
Right.
And now it was sort of like.
We're trying to make more.
And music, carnival, and fireworks. And that's about
it. So moving in that direction for a couple of reasons. Number one, we're not open 12 hours a day like we used to be. We are open for a shorter period. That's part of it. Second of all, we have to make more room for people. When you start taking up big parts of the park for other things, there's no room for people. And we're getting more of those things showing up every year. The other part of it is, as the rules and safety restrictions covering fireworks change, you've probably watched those safety fences march out further and further each year. So we are in a bit of a bind in that space, and let the record show that for about a decade, I've been saying we got to look for a new home for the 4th of July eventually, or have two of them, because we're a growing area and it's a popular event. For sure.
It's an interesting trend, because it seems like across the line, across the board, all of our events that we've been having have been very well attended.
Right.
I don't know if it's just like now people are finally getting that COVID's over, let's go out and be people again,
I think that's part of it, but I also think that this area is really blessed by some really high quality events. There are events worth going to. You have some really great events going on. The Cordova Community Council does, and so do other groups. There's a lot to do, and it's encouraging people.
Maybe it has to do with that, reaching that 60 plateau,
Could be.
60, 65. It's high school, 60 years old.
Cordova Community Council is about 4 years ahead of you, but.
4?
Yeah, I don't know if you are aware of the history of Rancho Cordova, but the same 4 or 5 men founded the Cordova Recreation and Park District, the Chamber of Commerce, who you honored earlier, and the Cordova Community Council.
Well,
very enlightened people who years ago foresaw this moment that we need these organizations, which is kind of cool to think about.
We should do a movie.
Yeah. There you go.
Company now. Thank you, Shelley.
You're welcome.
Vice Chair Dan.
I would just like to say thank you to the Cordova Community Council. For me, it's something I've been involved in for a very long time, and I made a comment, about 15, 16 years ago that, hey, how do we make things in the Park District better? And now I sit here on this board, and I've sat here for 13 years because of comments that I made at the 4th of July one time. It just happened to be with the right people. And gave me that spark, and it's an event I enjoy working on every year. Like Secretary Sloan says, it changes, and it's going to continue to change. There's things that I know that we're trying to set in place and keep the same, but laws change. Little things, safety procedures change, things like that. So it's always been a fun event, and I plan on continuing to do it as long as my body will allow me to. So thank you, Shelley.
Well, that motivates me to keep you in shape.
He's running a marathon tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah. It was another great event. I was really happy to see the parade is kind of coming back because it was thin there for a few years.
Yeah, wasn't it great?
It was great to see all the participants. It was great to see the sides of the street lined with folks. It was really nice too that I liked. I don't know if this was the first year because I have to admit I've missed the parade a few years. It was nice to have Andy G was at one point. There was a lady at another point, and there was Kurt at the corner. It was nice to have somebody announcing who all these folks were in earshot of most folks.
We had 5 announcers.
I missed
Working the route. Yeah.
I must have missed 2 of them or something. Yeah, but it was really nice to have that. That was great. I like that. I like the new location for the VIP area. That was really nice. Good vantage point. And we were there for what was the event after that? Was it the Cordette's Aqua Show?
Yes.
And I mean, that was like a week or so later, and you look out in the park, you would have never known there was
Isn't that crazy?
30,000 people there the weekend before. It was amazing. So always do an amazing job. Always enjoy. I'm glad my mother-in-law was in town this year, so somebody could watch the dogs. So apparently all the fireworks were bought for you guys because my neighborhood was not another fireworks show this year like it normally would be. So
Leave them to the pros. That's what we like to say.
So, but yes, and I always think those attendance numbers are low because I'm always amazed when the lights come back up and I'm like, holy. So I know the attendance was because it was not as easy to get out of there as it has been in years past. Usually you wait about 30 minutes and you can get out there. Nope. So, but another job well done. I enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it. So,
Well, I love getting all this feedback and a lot of people said, have advised me and said, well, you should just raise the price. And that way that will help you, control the size of the group, but not the 4th of July. It's got to be open, especially to people new to our country, so they can taste some of that American spirit while they're becoming Americans. And we don't want anybody to not be able to come. So
And the people that I go way back when it was just like a few games you play. You walk down the line and you throw it. They played tic-tac-toe with a tennis ball. And it was like down the line, every little nonprofit was there. And then we started blossoming, but it was the people would come at the times when they bring their food and their fireworks, and they'd have fireworks, and then they would have fireworks. It was getting out of hand, but it's the people of this community that they're the roots down deep, and we got to keep them able to afford it and be able to come to it.
that's right. I agree.
Not let them get pushed out.
Everyone should be able to celebrate our nation.
We're all
Yeah.
kids play.
Right.
all right. Well, thank you, Shelley.
Well, thanks for having me, and we'll see you at the Christmas tree lighting on November 26th. Be there, be square.
Thank you.
Not at the mine shaft? Oh. All right. So we are going to move on to E, committee reports. Seeing none, we will move on to F, public hearing. Seeing none, we will move on to G, the regular calendar.
Thank you. Item G1, special proceedings for Community Facilities District number 2018-01, Park Facilities and Services, annexation number 10, Shalico. Item G1 is to adopt resolution 23/24-19, accepting the annexation of property located in a future annexation area to the Cordova Recreation and Park District, Community Facilities District number 2018-01, Park Facilities and Services Tax Zone number 1. I'd like to invite CFO Goodell to present, and also on the Zoom this evening, we have Mr. Brian Brown from Francisco and Associates.
All right, thank you. Good evening, Chair Yearwood and board members. And so the purpose of this item is to annex in the Shalloco development into maintenance CFD 2018-01, our Park Facilities and Services CFD, which was initially formed in December 2018 with 2 projects and a boundary that allowed for future annexations, including this one tonight. Since the CFD is already formed, it only requires 1 meeting versus the typical 3 meetings. And so it's very streamlined. The owners have already completed and submitted the unanimous approval form, and that states that they approve the annexation of their parcels into the CFD and that they allow for the annual levy of a special tax on the property for the CFD. The statute doesn't require formal approval from the board, but we have chose best practices and transparency by our district to submit it as part of the board package, and includes all the annexation documents, the resolution, and of course it becomes public record, and so that's why we do it. And we have 9 previous annexations, so that makes this number 10 for this particular CFD, and we named it the Shalloco project. And it estimates to consist of 923 single-family detached residential units, 237 multifamily residential units, and an additional 17.6 acres of non-residential space. So that's commercial, industrial, and other. This will generate in today's dollars approximately $565,750 annually at full build out. And so the tax may be levied in perpetuity to pay for park and facility services as long as those services continue. Included in the packet tonight are resolution 23/24-19, the unanimous approval form, the amended map, including this development, and the notice of special tax lien. So that is my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the public on Zoom?
We have no public comment requests.
All right. And nothing in the audience. So we'll move down the line there to Director Mattis. Any questions?
No.
Director Lang?
Nope.
Secretary Sloan? Vice Chair Danzel?
No, sir.
I have none either. Would anybody care to make a motion?
I move the Board of Directors adopt resolution 23/24-19, accepting the annexation property located in the future annexation area, Cordova Recreation and Park District, Community Facilities District number 2018-01, Park Facilities and Services Tax Zone 1, annexation number 10, Shalloco.
All right. Have a motion by Director Mattis. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Chair Danzel. Roll call vote.
Director Mattis?
Aye.
Director Langen?
Aye.
Secretary Sloan?
Aye.
Vice Chair Danzel?
Aye.
Chair Yearwood?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We will move on to item G2.
Thank you. Item G2 is to approve a name for the future turnkey neighborhood park in the ranch development. And I'd like to welcome to the podium landscape architect Christina James.
Chair Yearwood, I'd like to recuse myself from this item.
All right.
Sir.
Good evening, Chair Yearwood and members of the board. Oh, sorry.
What? We just have to go to the parking lot?
Yes, to leave the building, get out of it. But boys get some experience. Okay, his name is not. There we go.
Good evening, Chair Yearwood and members of the board. The Board of Directors of the district approved a concept plan for this neighborhood turnkey park in the ranch development on April 19th, 2023. Generally, the park naming agenda item follows the park concept plan item. However, in this case, it was determined that the ranch will be the first park to utilize the list of nominated people by the naming committee that was approved by the board in September. Names selected by the naming committee in September include Guy Anderson, John Barris, Linda Budge, Brian Danzel, Franklin Lowry, Inez Reyes, and Charlie Rice.
The park theme is nature-oriented and includes animal prints stamped into walkway concrete, interpretive signage, and a nature-based color palette. The design uses drought-tolerant vegetation and boulders to reduce water use and maintenance. So other proposed names were selected to reflect this design aesthetic and theming. CRPD staff and the developer proposed the following names that will tie in with the nature theme and also adjacent streets: Paw Print Park, Animal Track Park, Treetop Park, Paseo Park, Aura Park, and Coal Creek Park. The Board of Directors has the final discretion in the name selection for the park. Thank you.
Thank you. Any public comment on this one?
We have no requests for the public.
All right.
Christina, can you please pull up the picture of the actual park design so they can be reminded of the look of that, please?
She has a.
I don't think it's part of the packet.
The picture isn't in.
What are the names? Are they?
Yeah, it's page 104, 104. William has his own computer. Look at that. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Rick Smith.
All right. So we'll do what we normally do down at the end there. Director Mattis, do you have any questions or comments? Is that a no?
No, so what,
Oh, go ahead.
so as far as like the names, where did the Coal Creek, is that because of the roadway?
Correct.
Okay. Say no
That's it.
further.
Director Lang?
When it comes to the play area, is that the pretty exact example of what it would be like?
Yes, so it's two single spinners, a swing set with a toddler swing and the two belt swings, and then a shaded climber. And there's pictures of all of those on the right-hand side.
Thank you.
What is Paseo?
That's a street, right?
It's
Yeah,
name of
that's a neighboring street.
All right.
So we don't know what that means, Paseo? What is
I
that,
mean, I could Google it.
Spanish for something?
Yeah,
Paseo.
it's a Spanish word for something.
For
way, I believe,
for what?
for way
For way? Oh,
or passage. Paseo.
so it's, the theme is animal, right? You're having a bunch of, you walk around, you're gonna see footprints and you're gonna learn about what type of animal made
Right.
that footprint.
So animal and nature, but on the right-hand side of the plan, you can see an interpretive sign that's showing animal tracks. And then on the lower left, you can see the prints stamped in the concrete. And those are being proposed and currently shown on the construction documents kind of throughout the play area.
So will the prints be predominantly in the play area? They won't be on the other walkways?
Right. It's
Okay.
not throughout the park. The landscape architects kept it to around the play area.
And I forget, did Mark say anything about the Coal Creek? Why we call it Coal?
That's the street name.
That's
That's like the bottom for your street names, right?
Correct.
Yeah. I know that because I live off Aura. But
Paseo means a leisurely walk or stroll, especially one taken in the evening.
oh, I like that. Somebody pulled up Google.
Thank you. I like that.
And this is the park that was presented because this is the one that has to have that new 3-bin trash can.
We've been implementing that in all of our newer parks. Exploration, yeah, that's a state requirement.
So, I'm just trying to figure out if there's any connection here to any of the people that we have on our list, and I'm not seeing that. I don't know if anybody else is seeing that.
I know that was an area that was undeveloped, never considered for many years because of the owners of those properties and because of the Air Force Base. So.
So I like I guess more or less the street names, and I don't like Animal Track Park or Paw Print Park because that's just like naming it after one thing that's in there, and it's not just about that one thing. So,
Like, which street would you say is Aura the predominant street there? Like the main one, right?
yes.
Okay. I do kind of like Coal Creek for some reason. I don't know why.
Coal Creek.
Yeah. But
It's a weird name, huh? Coal Creek. All right, I vote now. Where do we go from here?
somebody has to make a motion.
What we're gonna name it?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Paseo.
I move the board of directors approve Aura Park as the name of the future turnkey neighborhood park in the ranch development. Motion by Chair Yearwood. Do I have a second?
No second.
Second by Director Mattis. Roll call
What
vote.
did aura mean again?
It's a aura.
An aura like a,
Yeah, sure. That sounds good.
You have an aura.
All right, roll call vote.
yeah, I mean, to the point where we have to do roll call. Yeah.
Director Mattis,
Aye.
Director Langen,
Aye.
Secretary Sloan,
Aye.
Chair Yearwood,
Aye.
and Vice Chair Danzel is absent.
All right.
Thank
There we
you.
go.
So from now on, Brian can't partake in any naming of parks.
We'll talk about that later, I guess. All right, so we will wait till the vice chair makes it back up here. Right, so we will move on to H, Board of Directors items, H1.
Thank you. We have nothing under item H1. Item H2A is a training report for AB 1234 ethics. And Vice Chair Danzel completed his training on September 9th and provided the district with his certificate. Vice Chair Danzel?
Yes, ma'am. It is over 2 hours. This year I did supplemental training to make sure that I was over my 2 hours. But I do like the training. It does get a little more in-depth and it does stay up to date with what's going on currently. Not like when I first started with the district and it was, 20-year-old training that we're still doing and learning about. Now it's up to date. So, perfect. Thank you.
Why, thank you. I guess we'll go to H2B. Community activity reports. All right. So we will head on down. Well, Director Mattis, did you have anything you wanted to talk about? I don't see anything listed here for you.
No, didn't have anything. It was very busy with soccer this month.
I remember those days.
Oh, yeah. Director Daniel and I, though, will be going to the Special District Leadership Academy Sunday through Wednesday. So,
all right. Excellent. All right. Director Langen?
Yeah, so October 30th, went to the RCA Rosemont Community Association celebration at wow, drawing a blank.
Rosemont Community Park?
Yeah, Rosemont Community Park. Yeah, it was a great time. Had a lot of fun. Brought the family out just and walking through all the different vendors, seeing all of them was great. And so yeah, just an excellent event for the community out there. And then October 5th, the Rosemont Community Association board meeting. The one thing between the two that I heard a lot of was just the sports courts going in there at Rosemont Community Park and just how excited people are and how, just excited they are to get it going and get it done. I even had a couple people at the celebration. Oh, is it a little bit delayed or what's going on? Seems like it could be delayed. And I was like, no, just relax. It's okay. Like we're going on it. And so it's been awesome just to be able to see their excitement and can't wait for it to be done and to see it getting used all the time. So.
Well, thank you, sir. All right, Secretary Sloan.
It's my turn.
It is your turn.
Oh my goodness. I've got a long list.
You're a short list.
Should we take a break? All right, on September 26th, I attended the BRECA steering committee meeting. And at that meeting, we were discussing the possibility that the little library would be installed in time for our Brecca picnic. And so I'm going to cover two items at the same time. On October 1st, we had our Brecca picnic and the little library was there. And it was really nice that the park district was able to get the pad done and everything for the timing was perfect, and took a picture of it. If you guys want to look at it, I have it on my phone, but it really came out nice, kind of cute. It's a fact that now we've got where it was, the straw hats, and then the house made out of bricks. This is no one's going to blow this one over. It's going to take some wind. It's going to take a lot of elements. It's going to withstand the test of time because it's made out of one of the B metal boxes for get the newspapers out of, right? So it's kind of cool the way it was painted. And then we have a welder in the neighborhood in our association, and he actually made a roof on top, and it looks really fantastic. You wouldn't believe it was a mailbox. Right, Andrea? It's really fantastic. You guys should look at my picture. Or go out there and borrow a book. September 30th, I also was at the Rosemont Community Celebration. It was another thing is like, I want, when you walk these events and you have a camera, and we had that one little walkway, and it was packed. It was really crowded. I mean, all these events I'm going to, Beat the Machines, everything. It's really well attended. And that was another one. It was well attended. The weather was perfect, and everyone is like Danny said, they're excited about the new sports courts that are going in there. And today, as I drove up Watt Avenue on the way to my CRPD board meeting, I see a middle school it's elementary school up on Watt Avenue, and sure enough, they have the portable pickleball nets and about 30 kids out there with paddles playing pickleball. And I mean, these are 10-year-olds. So it's you can see that once they start playing this, and when they're get older, they're going to keep playing it. I imagine.
Or junior high.
I think Art and junior high. Yeah, well, yeah, it was really nice. And so then October 1st, I attended the Family Fall Festival at Sterling Park Drive. Is that the Sterling Park? Is that what it's named, that street? Mm-hmm. That was nice too. It was a perfect day. It was just a perfect day to be out and learn about nature. And the Park District had a table there, and it was another great event. The next one was October 1st. That's a Brecca picnic. The Brecca picnic was, we didn't have as many people as we normally have, but it was still fun. We had a piñata, and we were able to find kids to have a good time, and they all got a chance to whack this thing, and candy went everywhere. October 3rd, I attended the Rancho Cordova Athletic Association meeting, and it seems like we're getting so many needs that it surpasses the funding that the city was was giving the youth sports people, and so what they've done is they sort of had to gear things down a little bit, and people had to cross things off their lists to make it work. And one thing that they mentioned too, that the funding from the Measure H is going to be, it has to be used for upgrades to a facility, and they don't want that money to be used for maintenance. So that's one thing that I think is a kind of a new focus on the youth facilities. So that might require some more people donating their time or volunteering to help do some of the maintenance. And then they went over some of their wish lists, but I don't want to harp into that because there's more things on my list here. On October 5th, I went to the Good Neighbor Day at Feddersville Park. And another weather, man, this is crazy how the weather is just it's just been perfect for all these little events. And that was another nice little event. It was the city put that on, Rancho Cordova. And our park looked really good, and it was nicely attended. On October 17th, I attended the annual all staff recognition lunch we had yesterday, and that was fun. You know, it was another beautiful day in the neighborhood. Everyone was wearing their shirts. I think you might have seen some of the posts on the Facebook. What? Vice Chair Danzel's wearing his. I got mine, but I got a little bit larger one, and it wouldn't look good up here. So that was nice. And then today, I was able to go out to Roseville in person. We've been having Zoom meetings for the CRPD board meetings, but this one was in person in Roseville. And it was long. It was a long meeting. We discussed we had a lot of stuff on our plate. We discussed the conference in 2024. We're going over new policies. We're adding to our policy list and our membership. We're trying to come up with ideas to create more members, and get more of the people, the agencies, the districts in California to become members. And then we had a big meeting with our legislative outreach people, and it was a lot of information was passing our ears today. And I guess there's a couple of, she made a comment about, I guess there's a secret formula. If you have enough types of votes, they call it, it's a good day for local government. That's what she titled this. And the other day was a good day for local government because they were able to get a lot of, the governor put a couple things that are important to us up for the election in 2024, that being ACA 1 and ACA 13. And I think I'm going to let Director Danzel fill you guys in with a little bit more of he might have more details on some of that stuff.
Yeah. All right, Vice Chair Danzel. I have to, real quick, I saw your list. I'm like, oh my God, what did I miss this month? But I realized later what was going on. So
thank you. Thank you, Chair. I actually have 13 items to go through because I did miss September's board meeting. I was out of the state, traveling back from Virginia the night of the board meeting. So August 23rd, CRPD board meeting. I know Secretary Sloan discussed that. The Rancho Cordova Chamber of Commerce elected official reception August 31st. That was also discussed. It's always great to get the electeds together and talk in a more comfortable environment, not a political environment. September 8th, went to our own gala at the pool, which was a fantastic event. I mean, showing off the pool and to our friends and our just the community is just, who we are, and that's who we've always been. September 9th, the Rancho Cordova Sports Hall of Fame. It's being involved in sports as an athlete myself and as a coach here in the community. It's always great to see some of the athletes that you performed with at the high school level or just out in other aspects of Rancho Cordova. September 23rd, Doggy Day in the Park. It's always a fun event. I think I've missed one of those since we started it. It continues to grow. There's some great pictures out there. I just have to say there's some great pictures of that event that are public that everybody needs to go look at. September 30th, the RCA Rosemont Community Celebration.
Has to have that.
Once again, it's always good to see communities come together and celebrate themselves, and it's fun to walk that park and see what's going on and talk to the residents of that area. October 1st, went to the Family Fall Festival, walked around. There was tours of the Cassis property, things like that. Lots of wildlife this year. there was snakes, there was birds, there was owls, I don't remember everything. I'll let Chair Yearwood talk about some of those if he can remember them. October 3rd, I had a CARPD membership meeting talking about how to grow our membership and how to keep our membership and what other organizations other than Parks and Rec that we can go ahead and invite to our organization as such as CSDAs that do Parks and Rec things. Later that day, I had a CRPD conference meeting, just talking about the logo, what this year we're going to talk about, who's going to be there, things like that. The date had already been set. It's the last week in May of next year in Santa Rosa. October 5th, it's a good Labor Day at Feathers Field. Always good to be in our parks. And like Secretary Sloan said, it was a wonderful weather that day. It's a park that I grew up around the corner from. So, seeing it full of people and being used as a park is incredible. A new activity that we did this year, October 7th, was the floating pumpkin patch. Fun event. I know we sold out that event. It was and once again, it's October, so it's supposed to be cold and fall. And I think it was, 89 degrees that day. And it just made for a perfect day to get out. It was a day I wanted to go swimming, which we did open up the pool so people could swim during those times. I didn't put the other event that we had going on down at the barn that day, but we did have another event going on at the barn that day. Stop by there just to see how that was going. Also, and then the staff recognition luncheon yesterday. The staff is, they're an incredible group of people. I know Recreation walked away with pickle, if I remember correctly. I won't steal everything because there's other people that need to talk over this subject tonight. But staff does a wonderful job. They, desserts were great. Food was great. The morale in the pavilion yesterday was just incredible. And the raffle prizes that everybody was able to get together, the socks that were donated to the Folsom Cordova Unified School District for the, what are they called now?
Families in Transition. It was, incredible that the staff of the park district, comes together, and we don't look at just ourselves. We look at our community, and that's who we are. There's another, video that who we are. And then today, as Secretary Sloan said, CARPD board meeting, went over some bills, went over some challenges that are coming, went over conference membership, bylaws, policies. It was a long day. Started up there, finished that. Then I have my monthly meeting with Mr. Larkin, and I had that today on my drive home from Roseville. Finished that. Had a little bit of downtime just to make sure that everything was ready in my household, and then came to this meeting tonight. So that is my 13 items for the month. Thank you, Chair.
Oh, thank you. All right. Do we need a break now after those two?
You want to?
I have three because I left one off, but I had attended Doggy Day in the park on September 23rd. It was a nice day. It's good to see a nice crowd was there. I think all these events are benefiting from folks kind of getting out of the isolation world and getting back out and doing things. So that was a nice thing. A lot of dogs out there, a lot of folks. Then I headed over to the RCA Rosemont Community Celebration on the 30th. Another nice event, well attended. Really nice to see that. A lot of compliments about the work that's being done out there. People are excited about the new courts and that out there. So they're looking forward to all of that. And I did also attend the Family Fall Festival on October 1st. I remember there were critters out there. I don't remember exactly which ones, but there were lots of them. And they were around our tent, our little pop-up. So keeping the other Patrick in check. So he didn't want to go too far astray. So, but yes, I will reiterate. When I saw your report, I'm like, wait a minute, what did I not go to? I was like, holy cow. But all right. So now I'm going to turn the page on my agenda. And it looks like we're going to go to comments by staff on non-agenda items.
Thank you. Item I1 is the district-wide monthly progress report for October, and I'll turn it over to General Manager Larkin.
Thanks, Clerk Jones. We are in the process of reviewing the draft chapters for the optimized plan. I just have to give a lot of thanks and kudos to the team that's reviewing this. It's a really heavy lift. Laura has been incredible as our leader, and the support from, Jill, the other people, Chase, reviewing this is critical for us to have a very thorough yet critical document that we'll be able to use once this is completed. So thank you guys. I know it's a lot, and I appreciate everything you're doing with that. We also, as you all know, hosted the annual all staff recognition event yesterday. Congratulations goes to the Recreation Department for being the Department of the Quarter and won the giant inflatable pickle. Make sure you don't pop it, or else duct tape is going to come out and you're going to have to pay for it. The other part of it is a big, huge kudos to our Park Superintendent, Jim Morales, who is here this evening. He won the Employee of the Year award. Well deserved. Jim has been absolutely outstanding in staying on top of all of the work orders, all of the projects that have come through with our CIP plan, and all doing so with a staff that we were down for quite some time. So thankfully we got some relief for him, and we just thank you, Jim. You're doing a fantastic job and we appreciate you. T-Mobile had a community outreach meeting at Stone Creek Community Park yesterday evening, and there will be a future report on that. We have also had a response back from the TrueMark at Cassis developer, CRPD comment letters on June 2023 on their SB 330 project application. CRPD's attorney, Bob Thurbin, and staff have been reviewing the letter from TrueMark, and we're preparing a response to submit to the city for that application. The information related to Exploration Park, we had at the time of park construction, the thought that there would going to be a school next door as our neighbor. Unfortunately, Elk Grove Unified School District has determined that they no longer need that elementary school site located next to that future park. And so we'll be reaching back out to who they sell that piece of property to, most likely a developer, to talk about adjusting the Quimby Parkland dedication or in lieu fees associated with that increase in residency. On page 111, you can see the overwhelming amount of park projects that we're working on, all active, but in different phases. There are 9 parks at this time. I have to say some of the just general park, processes, reviews are now kind of intensified with the uniqueness of some of the properties that we're developing in the Aerojet Boeing area. And I just have to say thank you to Laura and Bob for working really hard to protect the future district from any potential liability, as well as just this tremendous workload. We'll get some help hopefully soon here. But I do appreciate everything you guys are doing. It's a really heavy load. And we just appreciate all of your dedication in making sure we're moving this forward the best we can. The Rosemont Community Park fence project is completed for the Little League. We're excited about that. The project at the Rosemont Community Park, the sports courts, is doing well. As of right now, we are on schedule, and hopefully, weather permitting, we should be able to deliver by the end of this calendar year. But cross your fingers, everything continues to be kind to us in terms of the weather. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our amazing Director of Parks and Recreation, Jill Nuns.
Thank you. So lots going on in the Parks and Recreation, golf and marketing world, as you can see from your report. I'll just highlight a few things. Had 2 community events happen this past month. September 16th was Meet the Machines. It was a beautiful day. Lots of people came out to enjoy the day with a whole bunch of machines. And of course, like we've heard before, the popular, balls going in the air from, what do we call that thing, Jim?
Isn't that a huge leaf blower? It's a huge leaf blower, right?
Yeah, the blower. So super excited that we were able to move that event to September. It obviously worked out really well. We'll see when we're going to have host that event in the future. We also had the doggy day in the park. You can see the cute picture of Chair Yearwood. I don't know if he's kissing General Manager Larkin or the dog, but you can see that picture there. But again, another great turnout for doggy day in the park. Cordova Golf Course had another fantastic month in September, up 27% from the year before. So let's cross our fingers that the weather continues to be really nice and our golf course continues to get a lot of golfers, and Beach Hut Deli is very happy about that as well. So hopefully we'll continue down that path. In recreation, of course, just booming this fall with a whole bunch of different programs. One of the highlights is our NFL Youth Flag Football program that started up on Saturday, October 7th. And that's out at Heron Landing Community Park. And then you can see the rest of the activities that are going on throughout the district. Special event invitation, a couple events coming up. We have our Halloween bash at the Neil Orchard Senior Activity Center on Wednesday, October 25th. We have the Halloween at Hagen at the Hagen Community Park on Saturday, October 28th from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. We have the Veterans Day celebration at Neil Orchard Senior Activity Center on Wednesday, November 8th. We have the Thanksgiving feast on Wednesday, November 15th. And then we have, like Shelley Blanchard had mentioned, the Christmas tree lighting hosted by the CCC at the Village Green on Sunday, November 26th from 4 to 7:30 p.m. And with that, that concludes my report.
Why, thank you. We're going on to J, right? For informational items.
Thank you. Item J1 is the articles, correspondence, and public outreach. We had 3 articles, including a lovely article in CSDA magazine on who we are. Congratulations on that. 2 newsletters. And then J2 is your calendar.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right. Well, it looks like we've gotten to the portion of the meeting that we love to affectionately call closed session. Would you please announce the items?
Thank you. Before I announce the items, I just want to let the folks on the Zoom call know that what we typically do is end the Zoom meeting for all and then go to closed session and restart the meeting once we reconvene. This evening, we have 2 items in closed session. Item K1 is conference with legal counsel, existing litigation. Pursuant to California Government Code Section 54956.9, Cordova Recreation and Park District versus the City of Rancho Cordova, Sacramento Superior Court Case Number 34-2021-80003705. Item K2 is conference with legal counsel, existing litigation pursuant to California Government Code Section 54956.9. Sacramento Superior Court Case Number 23CH000964.
All right. Thank you. All right. So we will adjourn to closed session at 7:43. Sure. Yeah, good idea. All right. Looks like we're going to return from closed session at 8:36. On the 2 items, item K1, The board took action to dismiss the case, and item K2, there was no reportable action. And with that, it looks like it's time to recess to our next regular scheduled meeting, which will be Wednesday, November 15th, 2023 at 6:30 PM. This meeting is adjourned. She need to destroy that. Just kidding.